So, Raphael, if you can pick one superhero power that you can have just one, what would it be?
And this always surprised my brothers. I want the power of time. I want the time stone. I think like it's cool, like sticking on walls, webs, all of that, flying, all of that. But time negates all of that. Like I even watching the what ifs when they was doing like the what if Ultron won,
Yeah.
and that motherfucker got all the stones, they couldn't do shit with him.
No.
Like,
I mean, honestly, if you have the time stone, nobody can do anything to you. As long as you got your eyes open, you see what's coming at you, all you got to do is dial back the hands of time.
that's all. Like, so it's almost like, yeah, it might be like a cheat, like how Superman is like motherfucker ain't never got no goddamn real like
Real weaknesses.
yeah.
It's like, you know what? Let's hit him with some kryptonite. Like, that's my problem with Superman.
Like-
Superman is my least favorite character because he's built up to be the biggest, baddest, fastest, strongest,
Yes.
most capable. But let's throw some rock from his planet at him. Let's just keep it in the vicinity.
He
And,
done.
okay, now he's weak. I
He
mean,
done.
like, okay, if I'm Superman and I know I'm about to face like my biggest, villain or rival, whatever, I know that motherfucker's bringing kryptonite.
Yes.
Why am I not going to use my X-ray vision and like look in the building? There's a box down. What's in the box? I bet you it's kryptonite. Like, how does he not start to feel weak and think, let me fly the fuck away from this before
some
done.
shit happens. And if you even think about it, and this really just hit me. I don't know why, because it's kind of in your face. They only got powers because they're in the Earth's atmosphere. So it's almost like, okay, on the planet Krypton, are y'all still this strong?
Nope.
You see what I'm saying? So are you really a superhero? Or are you just a hero by circumstance?
Circumstances.
You see what I'm saying? So
Landing on Earth made him a superhero.
our atmosphere made him a superhero.
Yeah.
So it's almost like, okay, I'll bite, whatever, I can deal with it. But yeah, I don't want to say I despise Superman because there are some good Superman stories.
Yes.
The
Animated series.
The animated
Holy
series is
shit.
good. Yes, the animated.
DC
That's exactly what I was getting ready to say.
DC ran the 90s.
Oh,
The
yeah.
animated series.
Oh yeah.
I wasn't even thinking about Marvel outside of the X-Men series.
And see, the reason why DC ran the 90s because WB was big. You had Fox 21, but that was on the cusp because I'm about to show my age. You remember Fox Kids Club, the Fox Kids Clubhouse?
Yeah.
Used to be a black girl named Erica Bryant used to run it. When she stopped doing that is when they lost steam on the Fox 21 standpoint because she actually was part of the community. And like she did a lot of things, but that brought a lot of eyes to Fox 21 and even the Fox Kids network. Like every Saturday morning, Erica Bryant was on Fox 21 giving like birthday wishes, sending out like that was the thing. That's what made people watch.
That's why you tuned in.
That's why you tuned in.
Yeah.
Now, fast forward when, after all of that, you got the WB, you got the Animaniacs, you got the Batman animated. So you got all of this shit that's
Pink
starting
in
to
the
peak the pink in the brain.
Yeah.
You're starting to get all of this shit that's piquing the interest of kids. Like, oh, that shit kind of cool. What the fuck? Like, it's not the traditional superhero beating up the villain. It's something different, So they took a lot of Fox 21. That's why the Saturday morning cartoon shit died. Like,
Yeah.
Fox 21 championed it. Like, you didn't watch the WB first. You watched Fox 21 for like 3 or 4 hours. And then when 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock hit, when all the regular stuff come on, you still had a little bit of the WB because you had all the other stuff. But that was secondary. But that was why, in my opinion, anyway. I mean, I watched a lot of those networks. I was just all over, so I just saw it all. From a first person point of view, I was like, damn, they didn't got rid of this. Damn, these cartoons fucking suck now. I'm about to go somewhere else.
And Saturday mornings used to be the best as a kid.
Oh yeah.
Especially when Pokemon came on.
Oh
man.
Jesus.
The worst thing I could do on a Saturday morning was to oversleep and miss Pokemon. and be an episode behind my brother.
Yeah.
Like, he's over here trying to talk about him like, shut the fuck up.
And you know the
Shut
crazy
the
thing
fuck
about
up.
that is now, and I think it's like mad crazy because it wasn't an issue to us because we weren't even thinking that far in. When we missed a show back
You had to
then,
wait till next week. And if you're lucky,
but you didn't.
some shows ran before the new show. They'd run the old episode from last week, so you can catch up.
So you can catch
But
up.
you had to wake up an hour earlier to do that, or half hour.
Yeah, it was always
Yeah.
a catch to it.
Yep.
So we didn't. It was no TiVo yet. There was no
YouTube
pause. I can go to an archive and look at those episodes. It was like if you missed it,
You missed it.
you missed that shit.
Yeah, no TiVo, no pause. But you know what else though? If you didn't have those antennas right, boy.
Oh, you missing it while
Yeah.
watching it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's why I was like, it was so pressed. Like when we would try to run home to catch Dragon Ball, because we knew like, especially if it got to a fight to where Goku getting ready to do business. I swear they would talk for 3 episodes before they threw the first punch.
Yeah.
It was like Goku got here, then it was an entire show dedicated to a stare down. And then the next show was like, okay, we're gonna tell y'all what the plan is. The third episode after that was like, okay, some action is being taken. We didn't see the fight until like the 4th or 5th episode. And it was like, damn, they like really drained this out. But that's what we live for.
Yeah. It's like Pokemon. You know,
It's
the
just
best
really
action
cool.
was like the last 3 minutes.
Oh yeah.
And then half the time they left you on a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
To see what happens.
Talking. Like it's like y'all like the middle of nowhere staring each other in each other's eyes.
Yeah, like halfway through the episode, it's really just Brock, looking
Yes.
at Officer, what was her name? The lady officer he always flirted with. Nurse Joy. You had the officer. Yeah, every episode, you had time for him to flirt before you got to the actual Pokemon fighting.
Oh yeah. Most definitely. And then like the fight itself would last only like a few minutes. It's like, damn, I waited like 4 or 5 episodes for this.
Dude, it's like cooking. Like you spend like 20, 30 minutes prepping food just to have 1 minute of eating it and enjoying it.
Damn, yeah, that is. Yeah.
Then we make cartoons where it's like action from start to finish. Well, no, X-Men 97.
Yeah.
Action.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. It's not that many. It's not really many movies that are action-packed from start to finish, which I know that's hard to do. You got to have some sort of substance to it. You can't just have shit blowing up from start to finish, but like I get it. Like I like if it's a superhero movie, I would expect 70% of it to be action. 60 to 70% of it should be action. I don't need a backstory in a superhero movie if the tone for this is supposed to be whoop ass. Yeah. I don't want to sit around and talk about some shit that most of the audience already knows. So
makes sense.
I get that. What hero you want to be? I thought it was your boy right here for the longest.
So non-hero characters, their alter ego, so to speak, probably be Tony Stark. The guy's smart, the guy's rich, does whatever the fuck he wants, has nice cars, has a nice house, a nice tower. I mean, he's got everything you could ever want.
Got everything.
As far as Iron Man, I don't know if I'd want to be Iron Man. He has some human flaws, built into his suit. His suit can do a lot, but, realistically, some of the issues I have with his character in the movies is, he can do a superhero landing, go from like 100 to 0 like that. When in reality, I mean, his organs would liquefy.
Oh, yeah.
All his bones would, shatter, splinter, break. So I don't know if Iron Man would be my favorite hero, but if I had to pick a hero, it'd have to be somebody that can fly. Whether that's Thor through means of the hammer. That's really what I would want. I don't care about any other superpowers. I just want to be able to fly. So I have a very, very small need as far as superhero abilities.
I feel you.
But if you would have asked me a long time ago when I was a kid, I would have had a different answer for you.
Oh, yeah, I definitely would.
Growing up watching movies like Porky's where the kids are like sneaking into, the building so they can look through the holes and see the girls showering and stuff like that. When I was a kid, I might have said, you know what, I want X-ray vision. So I can see a little something.
Yeah.
Um,
Definitely had some ulterior motives why I wanted.
That's right. You know, when I was immature, I saw the movie Hollow Man with Kevin Bacon. You ever seen that one
Yes.
where he can go
That's the
invisible?
first one. The second one's trash.
I don't know. They made a second one.
It's trash. Don't waste your time.
Ah. Well, after seeing the first movie, I did have a thought where it'd be kind of cool to be invisible. You know, you could sneak up on people and see some things, but you know, as a more responsible adult, a little more mature,
Yeah.
dude, I want to fly.
I feel you on that. I could understand that.
That's where Superman, you know, he seems like he'd be a great one because he covers that. He can fly. He can do a bunch of other stuff, but the Kryptonite really has me
Yeah.
turned off to that.
I feel like so. I think that's to your point. I think that's the biggest issue that I have with him because they could have made his weaknesses so much more cooler.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so much more cooler than just a rock.
Yep.
Like, even if he was more like like Hancock, he was weak around his true love because they were supposed to, they could have done that. Even though that story has been done before. That's the story of Hawkman and Hawkwoman.
Yeah. Well, I guess it could have been like when in the movie you see other people from Krypton come up. Maybe his weakness is people from Krypton.
Something that's got some substance to it. Like, damn, that's kind of fucked up that he can't be around his people because it makes him weaker. Like,
yeah.
I would like to see that. You know what I'm saying? But a rock, come on.
Yeah, and how much is that stuff on Earth? Like, where do they find all this stuff? Like, how many bad guys has he defeated that had kryptonite?
Lex Luthor is the only one. Lex and Batman and Brainiac are probably the only three that I've seen in Doomsday, but Doomsday don't count. He didn't have no kryptonite. That I've seen give Superman some trouble.
Yeah.
and they were all intelligently built. Like when Batman and that's funny. It was funny how all that happened because when Batman beat Superman, it was because Clark went rogue. And Wonder Woman was asking Bruce, she was like, you know who you're going up against? Like, the metal suit is not gonna work. He was like, it's not the suit that I'm worrying about. The suit, he said, the suit is a contingency. He said, my biggest plan is this rock right here. And he put it in the suit and the shit lit up green. He was like, it's powered by krypton. He's not gonna hurt me.
No.
I said, oh shit.
Now though, what if he hit him with his laser eyes from a distance? Just melted through that suit.
Yeah.
You know, he hit him with what's that guy's name from The Boys?
Oh, you talking about Homelander?
Yeah, like Homelander. He did him like Homelander does people. Like, is Batman counting on Superman to get up close and fight hand to hand?
I would.
Because, dude, I'd just be up in the sky.
Yeah, just
hitting him
beaming.
with my laser eyes. Let me throw a house at Batman.
It's funny that you bring up Homelander.
Dude's crazy.
I like Homelander more than I like Superman.
He's probably the best villain out there, actually. Have you seen the last season? Oh, boy, you got.
So I will tell you about The Boys. So I didn't watch it for the longest. I remember when Jason was trying to get me to watch it. I said, all right, I'll pick it up. I watched the first episode when old boy was running.
Yep.
And that chick
Atomized
burst. Yeah. I saw that episode and I saw a little bit after. I saw a little bit into the second. Then I lost interest.
Side note on that. How many times do you think Superman's flying through the sky at the speed of sound or however fast he goes? He flies through a bird and does the same shit to the bird that, dude did to that girl on the sidewalk or off the road.
Just see feathers.
Yeah.
Just one point, it's like to see some feathers just burst. Like, what the fuck just happened? He hit a bird. It's a bird. It's a plane. No, it's plane.
Flies through a fucking flock of birds and there's just pink mist coming down.
Yes.
But anyway, sorry to interrupt.
Oh no, you good. The Boys. I got into that second episode about a little bit, and I just lost interest. And then I started Homelander. He was a playable character on the new Mortal Kombat game, and my brother was talking. He a big MK fan. He was talking about it, And I guess him being on MK, riled it back up again, and then like they start putting out more boy stuff, and that's all I would see for a little while. So I was like, you know what, let me give it a try. So I actually watched. I don't know what episode it was, but me and Claire was watching it, and it was one of the episodes. It was just it was a small guy, and like he was like shrinking himself and like going in people's assholes and shit like that.
Yes, I remember that.
So when I saw that, Claire was like, "What the fuck did you got us watching?" I was like, "I don't know," but
that's the kind of shit like if you're a kid watching this nowadays, and like your mom and dad come in the room, they think you're watching like porn.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I was like, what in the fuck is? But yeah, I cut it off after that. I was like, yeah, I don't want.
That's a little bit too much.
That's too much for me.
The one thing about this show, there's a whole lot of male nudity, not a whole lot of female nudity.
It is a ton of male nudity.
Well, what saves it for me is Homelander. He is the worst villain out there to the point that I'm like, damn, I'm kind of rooting for him. I want to see what kind of evil shit he's doing next.
So I did see one part of an episode when he spazzed out on them motherfuckers when he at the podium. He's like, you people should be grateful. Like that part.
Yeah.
And like when he said that, I was like, damn, that shit sounds so familiar. It's the intro to Metro Boomin's mix CD. And I was like, this motherfucker watched The Boys. But yeah, that speech that he gives, and that's when I went to go see that episode. And to your point, he's not a traditional superhero or supervillain. Like
not even really an anti-hero either. He's just an asshole.
He's just an asshole.
Yeah.
But I think he's an asshole because
well, he's treated wrong as a kid. When you get into season 3 and they start telling his backstory.
So I got that a little bit. Yeah. I haven't got to season 3 yet, but I felt like just cause how he snaps, like he'll be sitting there and then the minute he hears something he don't like,
a trigger, he's just
triggered. And I'm like, what the fuck they do to him?
Yeah.
Like so, like I kind of want to watch it for that. I like Homelander.
Yeah.
I like Homelander. It was just a lot. Like he is very unhinged. He's a more realistic supervillain than anything.
Yeah, I think they really hit the nail on the head with that one as far as evil, sadistic characters. But that's just some of the stuff he does. Like the whole premise of The Boys. They're not really heroes. They're just employees working for a corporation, getting paid. They're worried about sponsorships, and they do the worst shit. They just care about PR.
But think about it.
That's more how heroes would be in a real life scenario.
You took the words right out my mouth.
Yeah.
That's exactly how that shit would be.
They're not going to just be sitting at like a headquarters somewhere waiting to jump to action. No, they're going to want the fame, the glam. And here's the issue that I have with DC versus like Marvel anyway, right? And I guess you can put The Boys in there as well. DC, they're worried about like secret identities and all this stuff.
Yes.
And where Marvel, like look at fucking Tony Stark, you're in the first fucking Iron Man movie. You get to the very end of it, they're like, hey, keep this under wraps, here's a script. He's like, I am Iron Man.
Yeah.
Yeah. They don't give a fuck about secret identities.
No, they don't. They do not. And like the crazy thing about, I lost train of thought.
Choo, motherfucker.
Yeah, I know, right? Must not been important. I'll be having a lot of things going on in my head.
It'll come back to you when you get in bed and start to fall asleep.
Oh, yeah. It'll come back to me. Yikes!
So one last thing I do want to talk to you about, too, is, your whatnot.
Oh, yeah.
How you transition from being comic book enthusiast to comic book businessman.
Oh, yeah. So I actually I really didn't notice it until, like, here recently. Honestly, when you kept on telling me to get on one, like that was the craziest thing. Like people, like my aunt even asked me, she was like, how did you even find how to do this? I was like, Auntie, honestly, one of my homeboys hounded me for weeks about getting on whatnot about my Marvel cards because his brother was selling them. I said I got on there and I was like, damn, this is pretty cool. And then, I found out that they sell a whole bunch of other stuff other than just like cards. Because I honestly thought Whatnot, they just sold like those cards. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. But when I started like scrolling, and they were selling like comic books, car parts, jewelry, anything. It was damn near like a flea market, an online flea market. That's pretty much what it is. And like I started seeing people sell books that I've had for years.
Damn, that's worth something.
It's worth something. And as me growing up, like I've always been the weird child. I tell y'all every time I would get new toys at 8, 9, 10 years old, and I would filter out which ones I would open and which ones I wouldn't. And like my aunts, my mama, like they thought that was the weirdest thing. They was like, just open them. But like I just, it was just the thing in me of like, if I want to keep it and if I don't want to have to replace it, I got to take care of it. Mm-hmm. And that was just an extreme thought. Don't open it. Yeah. So, I just didn't open shit. So fast forward to now, 20 years later, I just kept getting stuff. Like my uncle gave me his comic books, when he got older. My grandmama, always had something Marvel in my face. If it was a video game, a comic book, a trading card, something. Like, like she really cultured a lot of it. And then, just having the knowledge that I do have, I mean, by far it's not a lot. I know some people are like, man, this motherfucker know every damn thing. Hell no.
That's how I feel.
Yeah. I done met some people that teach me shit every time that I talk to them. I'm like, damn, I did not know that. But it's just the knowledge and just being comfortable with just knowing your product. I told Tony, I was like, man, I can do this. I said, I feel like this shit's easy. I said, I don't want to like downplay it like, oh, this ain't nothing.
Yeah, it's work.
It's work. It is definitely work. But it's so easy. It's like sometimes I'll, put a book up there and like we're doing this. We just start talking about the book and I'm like, oh shit, I forgot to start this book. I gotta start.
Yeah, exactly. Start the auction, yeah.
So but yeah.
But it's like you're hanging out with friends, talking about stuff you want to talk about, you're interested in, and you're getting paid to do it.
And you're getting paid to do it. Like that's the best thing. Like when I realized that I am actually getting paid for doing shit that I like to do, man, there was no turning back.
And it's a fantastic community too. Like
it
getting
is
on there,
so
like
supportive.
Watching some of the other people, you start learning more about the comic books. Like I've never been a big comic book guy. I've liked comic book movies, the TV animated series, but I've never really been into comics until Whatnot. And now I'm like, damn, these things are awesome.
Yeah, your boy Tony over here, he got heat too. He over here talking about my books, man.
Got a little back burner on low. Yours, you got the whole fucking, burner. I don't know.
I ain't got no choice, man. That damn wall, I ain't gonna lie to you. When I started to put the key wall together, I really didn't know how that was gonna go. Like I was just really thinking and emulating of what I see in comic book stores when I go to them. Like they always got a key wall, some sort of wall that's like, hey, this is what the good shit is, Mm-hmm. So I just wanted to kind of duplicate that as much as I could without, just going crazy. And, when I figured out what I wanted to do, it was more or less of like, how am I going to fit that in here? Mm-hmm. So I've always remembered less is more.
Yeah.
Less is always more.
Yeah, you run like 30 books a show, right?
Mm-hmm. And then like on the key wall, like I'll just have everything else, things people are asking for, big books, keys, just to have something up to where, people got something different to look at, you know? But yeah, turned that 20-year hobby into starting to be a career now,
Yeah, Space Lounge Comics.
Space Lounge Comics. We are on Whatnot, only found on Whatnot. But I am on, we schedule shows. We even got content on Instagram. My wife, she does a lot of that. Does a lot of the editing, and she'll upload all of that stuff. We try to be as consistent as we possibly can, but you know how that goes.
Several shows a week.
Yes. We
A lot of key books. I know I've collected a lot of books from you too.
Oh yeah. My man right here has been an A1 day one. Ever since like the very first show. I can only remember 3 people that was in that show, even though that I had like 10 people in my first show. It was you, Cheddar Comics, and my homeboy Suave. Yep. My cousin Suave. Y'all was the first 3
that
people
Rico
in there. Huh?
A little Rico Suave.
Yeah. Y'all have been super big supporters, man. I appreciate the fuck out of that, man.